horse who... Look, we have to look with horses like this, you have to look for flaws, really, what might possibly be wrong. We know he's beaten Wayward Lad the last twice, but he's never won at Kempton Park, and one has to say, as a matter of interest, that the time he looked like winning, he was going to upsides at the last in a novice hurdle here, and he crashed at the last and was nearly knocked out. Well, he was knocked out for some time, and they thought they were going to shoot him, and the horse that won was called Corbiere. Now, here's Coomsditch with the blinkers on. He ran in the 1983 Gold Cup and finished so distressed that we thought he looked as if he collapsed and finished. Well, he got over that hemorrhage or whatever it was. He reappeared at Kempton at Cheltenham over hurdles against a horse called Inda Melody, who runs in the next race here, and he hacked at him. And that was a very talented performance, and you wouldn't necessarily guarantee either of these other two horses to beat Inda Melody the way Coomsditch did that day. There he is, Coomsditch, with Colin Brown on board, and now first look at Wayward Lad, the Dickinson stable, not believing that his last form can really be true. Winner of this race the last 2 years, normally a marvellous jumper, and possibility that slightly different tactics may be used on him, because he just hacked around behind Bury Hill Lad. He never actually got a look at him last time. I rather imagine they might go a bit closer to Bury Hill Lad. Anyway, there they are, going out for this small field but beautifully set King George VI steeplechase. Here's John.
I agree. On Frankham rode him. Powerful horse, this. The Kempton fences, even if he hits one, touch wood, I don't think they'll worry him at all. It's been said that he needed the race when he won the Hennessy. Just conceivably, he might be still improving. And Derek Thompson put that question to his...
On favourite, Wayward Lad is 9-4 from 7-4. Coomsditch 6-1. They're all quoted.
And what a magnificent sight. Really a picture of a steeplechaser. A lovely, big, honest head. And as John Frankham put so strongly, it's the strength of the horse that impresses his riders. Well, Wayward Lad's no weakling. He's got, I suppose, rather more quality, you might say, in looks than Bury Hill Lad. Well, that race at Wetherby, we all have wondered about whether Wayward Lad was right. Monica Dickinson made no excuses at the time, but Derek Thompson asked her, how much of an off day did he have?
I think he was just not quite himself that day. I think everyone agrees that they have seen him run better.
But he was well and truly beaten. How are you going to turn that round today?
Well, we're hoping he will run better, but Bury Hill Lad ran very well at Wetherby. There's no getting away from that. Oh, we'll have to wait. Just hope and pray he does run a bit better.
What sort of tactics? We hear there might be a change in tactics. Can you divulge them?
Oh, no. Lord, no. No. We might try and ride him a little differently, but it really depends how the horses are going and how the races run. You can't really say what's going to happen.
Confident of getting a revenge or hopeful?
Just hopeful.
That's a lovely and formidable lady who, of course, anything her son can do, she can do at least as well. The wonderful Mrs. Dickinson, and there's Wayward Lad, who looks absolutely in the pink of condition. But in the background there is Coomsditch, and this is his first steeplechase for very nearly 2 years, so Derek Thompson asked Colin Brown the very reasonable question, may he be a bit ring rusty?
I scored him at home the other day. He was good. He's I don't think he will be. He's a very good jumper. I'm very hopeful.
I mean, a lot of people will have a pound on your horse today because he's the only horse in the race that you can get a price about. Would that be fair?
That'd be fair, and they wouldn't be doing anything wrong. A lot of people back the outside of 3 anyhow. But he'll run very, very well.
But I mean, seriously, has he any chance of toppling Bury Hill Lad or Wayward Lad?
Well, it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, really, I suppose you could say he should finish 3rd, but it wouldn't surprise me if he did. He is a decent horse, and he's very, very well at present. I mean, the last time he won a chase, he beat Bragorn. He went on to win the Gold Cup, my horse collapsed, and I don't know what happened to him, but he won over hurdles the other day with his head in his chest, so we'll have to see. Very hopeful.
That's perfectly true. The last Coombs Ditch won a chase. It was at Wincanton, and he beat the Gold Cup winner Bregawn. So not by any means a forlorn no-hoper. And here is John McCririck in the ring. On in Robert Earnshaw's mind, whether he's going to jump off and try and lay as close as he can to Borough Hill Lad. That's what I personally expect him to do. But John Frankham may have ideas about that too. And I don't expect that he will allow the gallop to be slow for very long. He may not go flat out to begin with, but it won't be slow all the way. There they are, they're under orders, so there you are, Graham, for the King George VI.
19 fences to jump, only 3 runners, but they've won over £342,000 in prize money and 50 races in all, and Borough Hill Lad leads to the first. Wayward Lad is second and Coombs Ditch is third. The next one they take is the first of 4 open ditches, and it's Borough Hill Lad from Wayward Lad and Coombs Ditch, and Wayward Lad much closer comes to it. The bold jump by him. See the shadow of Coombs Ditch, so that one was over safely in third place. They swing right-handed. Borough Hill Lad, Wayward Lad and Coombs Ditch. So cat and mouse, tactics, tension. Borough Hill Lad, the leader. Wayward Lad in second place and Coombs Ditch in third. So they've got 4 fences to jump when they level up into the far straight. The first one is a plain fence. That's the one that's just homing into the picture now. A plain fence then, and as they come down to it, it's Borough Hill Lad from Wayward Lad and Coombs Ditch. This is the third. 2 jumped it together. Coombs Ditch jumped with plenty of daylight between himself and the fence. This is a fence. This is a ditch, I should say. A ditch. Borough Hill Lad as they come to it. Borough Hill Lad from Wayward Lad. And Coombs Ditch jumping a bit better now. Going down towards the 5th. Borough Hill Lad, Wayward Lad. Matching strides as they go into this. And Wayward Lad the better jump. Wayward Lad, Borough Hill Lad as they go to the 6th. 2, 1, up. And again the better jump by Wayward Lad. Borough Hill Lad on the inner. Coombs Ditch back in third. And John Oaksey at this stage. Things going according to plan, would you say?
These are the new tactics, there's no doubt about that. Wayward Lad isn't tracking Borough Hill Lad, he's taking him on, and on at least 2 occasions, at least 2 fences, he has outjumped him. And of course, if he can do that, it's just conceivable that he might tempt Borough Hill Lad into error. This big horse used to make the odd mistake. Coming to the first fence in the straight now. They both jumped it perfectly well, with Wayward Lad just about half a length in front. That's not a particularly satisfactory situation for John Frankham, because if you're half a length in front, your horse quite often... You see, Borough Hill Lad didn't jump that well. Wayward Lad got a length there. This is undoubtedly going according to Robert Earnshaw's plan at the moment. Wayward Lad going beautifully as they come to what will be the next time round. They both pinged that. Coombs Ditch was jumping a little bit big to begin with, but now he's warmed up and is going with them. So as they go past the crowded and thrilled stands, back to you, Graham.
Borough Hill Lad on the inside of Wayward Lad. Coombs Ditch going well, close up, in third. So they head away into the country to the water jump. This is the 10th. Borough Hill Lad, Wayward Lad, Coombs Ditch. Borough Hill Lad on the inside. Wayward Lad on the outer, Coombs Ditch in third, another plain fence. This is the 11th. Wayward Lad on the right. And Borough Hill Lad the better jump there. Come down towards the second last ditch, the 12th. Borough Hill Lad, Wayward Lad, Coombs Ditch. Borough Hill Lad from Wayward Lad. Beautiful jump from Borough Hill Lad, absolutely magnificent. Wayward Lad is in second place, just gets a slap down his shoulder there. Coombs Ditch is in third, not done with, 7 to jump. And John Oaksey, John Frankham having none of this being out-jumped, is he?
No, he really went for a long one there and got it. A marvellous sight. And what a race this is now. Wayward Lad did just get a tap down the shoulder. He's not by any means on a tight rein, and Coombs Ditch isn't by any means out of it either. They're coming now towards the fence which ended Arkle's career in this race long ago, but let's hope that neither of them makes that kind of mistake. No, they don't. They jump it beautifully, and Coombs Ditch isn't at all far behind them. Robert Earnshaw still sitting fairly motionless on Wayward Lad. He hasn't really asked him, and I think John will start asking Borough Hill Lad now. They both ping it together, and it's still not a foregone conclusion. What a marvellous race.
Wayward Lad gets a reminder, gets another reminder. Got to be kept up to his work. There's 5 to jump. It's Borough Hill Lad, Wayward Lad and Coombs Ditch. They're going the fence together. Marvellous sight that. Wayward Lad on the outside of Borough Hill Lad and Coombs Ditch back in third. They go to the last on the far side, the fourth from home. And it's Wayward Lad and Borough Hill Lad and Coombs Ditch creeping ever closer. Coombs Ditch within a length, and Wayward Lad, Robert Earnshaw trying to ask that one to quicken. He's not finding a lot, and Borough Hill Lad, John Frankham's got the inside of him. But look at Colin Brown on Coombs Ditch just in behind these. What a race. They've got 3 more fences to jump. And it looks as if Wayward Lad is in distress and beginning to beat a retreat. Borough Hill Lad going on from Coombs Ditch. Can Wayward Lad now, back in third place, find any reserves? It doesn't look as if he can. But it's Coombs Ditch, the challenger to Borough Hill Lad. And Wayward Lad is out on his feet. They've got 3 more to jump. And it's Borough Hill Lad from Coombs Ditch. Borough Hill Lad on the inside. Coombs Ditch switched to the inside there. They've got 2 to jump. This is where John Frankham's going to have to ask Borough Hill Lad to quicken. If it were a handicap, Coombs Ditch would be getting a stone and a half. But it's Borough Hill Lad. Borough Hill Lad from Coombs Ditch. Wayward Lad back in third place, beaten and in distress. They've got 1 more fence to jump. And it's Borough Hill Lad on the right, Coombs Ditch on the left. And there's not that much to choose between the 2 of them as they come down towards the last. Borough Hill Lad and Coombs Ditch. Borough Hill Lad and Coombs Ditch. How do they meet it? They meet it together. Borough Hill Lad on the near side, Coombs Ditch on the far side. Both jockeys going for absolutely everything. Borough Hill Lad and Coombs Ditch, nothing to choose between the 2. Borough Hill Lad sticking his neck out, but so too is Coombs Ditch. They're locked in combat at the line. Borough Hill Lad and Coombs Ditch have gone past the post absolutely together. And the only sad sight of this King George VI chase is Wayward Lad, who was trailed in last and afraid looked in some distress, but was beaten some way out. And so the outcome of this King George VI steeplechase, the outcome is a photo between number 1, Borough Hill Lad, owned by Mr. Stan Riley, trained it up in Lambourne by Mrs. Jenny Pipman, and ridden by John Frankham, if he's prevailed. John Frankham's 67th winner of the season, but it's mighty, mighty close, because Coombs Ditch, the only other horse there in the picture, number 2, owned by Mr. R.J. Torrey, trained at Whitby by David Ellsworth, and ridden by Colin Brown, has given Borough Hill Lad the fright of his life.
Magnificent feat of training by David Ellsworth, because even if Coombs Ditch hasn't quite got there, this is his first steeplechase, and coming to the second last, his first steeplechase for 20 months, and coming to the second last, he's really getting John Frankham worried on Borough Hill Lad. The champion is under full pressure now. He really needs a good jump coming to the last, and in fact, if anything, Coombs Ditch jumps it just a little bit better. Colin Brown on Coombs Ditch over on the far side, coming to the last now. Let's slow it down a bit and see how they jump it. Coombs Ditch, perfect. Borough Hill Lad possibly just a little bit close. Coombs Ditch not all that fast into his stride. And now John Frankham pulls the whip through into his left hand and exerts the full power of the finish, which has won him more races than any other jockey in jumping history. I think it wins him this one, but what a marvellous race the blinkered Coombs Ditch has run. He keeps sticking out his head all the way to the line. Colin Brown asking for everything and getting it, but I don't think it's quite enough. As the post comes up now, it looks as though Borough Hill Lad's dark brown head is just in front. But what a race it's been, and what a marvellous race Coombs Ditch has run.
So, Borough Hill Lad and John Frankham. Will the judge, Michael Hancock, call him the winner? Or Coombs Ditch, number 2? John Frankham and Jenny Pipman talking there. And there's the owner in the background, top of the picture, Stan Riley. Here's the result. Borough Hill Lad is the winner. Oh, poor old Stenrani losing his hat there. I mean, what a relief. I mean, the poor man has lost about 7 stone in weight owning this horse. It's a terrible, terrible thing, I can tell you. Borough Hill Lad is the winner. Coomsditch is in 2nd place. And I'm afraid to say I missed as to whether Wayward Lad actually finished 3rd or whether Robert Earnshaw skipped out of jumping the last. I have yet to confirm.